Good morning! My mom and I are here at the Emmaline Lake Trailhead, located inside Pingree Park. And we're just next door to the CSU Pingree Park campus. And today, we're going to go for Emmaline Lake. I think we're looking at about 5.5 miles out with right around a 2,000 foot elevation gain. Official start time, 7:17. We're starting off on this road number 147. And this is a nice flat warm-up. That entire hillside is completely covered in aspen trees. This road looked doable until we hit this spot. It's pretty rough. This area is really beautiful, and most of it is burned up. We've made it up to the gate. And this is really beautiful out here. Awesome colors. Wow. We've got this really thick and dark cloud above us right now. It's pretty much blocking all the sunlight. But this might be better on the way back. I don't know. We'll see. We got Old Morrill Trail, Surprise Pond, Beaver Falls. But we ain't got time for that. We're going up here to Emmaline Lake and Cirque Lake. We've been hiking for about 55 minutes or so. GPS is showing us 2.1 miles into the hike. And we're getting there. We're getting there. This is the spot where I saw that moose last year when I did Fall Mountain. He came walking right across through the water. And I was hiding up here on these rocks. We have just entered the burned area, and this is damage from the Cameron Peak fire in 2020. And then right here to the left is the trail split, and this heads up to Mummy Pass. This is also the way I went last year when I did Fall Mountain. However, what you guys didn't see in the YouTube video was me doing Tropic Thunder quotes, and I walked right past it, and I walked maybe a half a mile out in this direction before I realized I missed the split. And that footage is in the raw cut, which I posted to my Patreon last year. It was about right here where I realized I had missed the Mummy Pass trail. And this is really far out. I'm thinking close to 3/4 of a mile. It's kind of a dark and gloomy day. It's a little windy, kind of chilly. Yeah, these are not the ideal hiking conditions. I'm just hoping we get a tiny bit of sun at some point on this hike. I think we're getting close to Cirque Meadows. I believe they are just up here. And in about an hour and 35 minutes or so, we've made it out here to Cirque Meadows. This is showing 3.4 miles out on the GPS, and we're at an elevation of just under 9,800. And the trail continues off to the right. No horses. It looks like we are now entering the Comanche Peak Wilderness. What's left of it. This thing got hit hard by the Cameron Peak fire. Starting to get a little more savage back here. We've been hiking for a little over 2 hours, and we're up here at 10,000 feet, which means we have about 1,000 left. And according to the GPS, it looks like Emmaline Lake is 1.1 miles out as the crow flies, and there are some bends in there, so I'm thinking maybe 1.5 max. We just got done with our break, and from here up to the lake is where half of the elevation gain is. So far this trail has been pretty flat, but right here at 10,000 feet it gets steep. We just had the sun come out for a second. And check out this trail. This thing just goes straight up. We're entering a unique environment, and it is for day use only. Well, all right. We're the day hikers, so that's going to work out nicely. I just checked the GPS. We're about 2.5 hours into the hike, 4.9 miles out at an elevation of 10,350. So we've still got about 700 more vertical feet up to Emmaline Lake. We just hit the raspberry jackpot. Look at all of these. I'm literally surrounded. So yeah, needless to say, we're going to stop here for a few minutes and pig out. Yeah, look at that handful of raspberries. Now that I've got the raspberry booster, I'm ready to knock out the rest of this hike. And look at all these other red little berries. I'm not really sure what those are, but I wouldn't eat them. This trail has some really steep sections here at the end. I mean, we're going straight up. We've been hiking for 3 hours now, And we're still about a half a mile away with maybe a 400-foot elevation gain. We're getting closer. That's Comanche Peak right there. Starting to get a little more haggard back here. We're having to pick our way through rocks. All right, and we finally got some sunshine. This hike gets really rocky at the end. Last time we did it, my mom stashed her poles down here somewhere, and we ran into one couple in between on the way back. And then when we got back down, the poles were gone. Yep, I'm pretty sure those two people stole them, because they didn't even, like, we were trying to talk to them and they didn't even want to make eye contact with us. Like, they just looked guilty. It's a little hazy up there, but it looks like we're gonna get some sunshine for the foreseeable future, which is great. We should get some really pretty shots of Emmaline Lake when we get up there. I'm thinking like 15 minutes. This hike is harder than I remember it being. All right, guys, and we're up there. Just kidding. That is not Cirque Lake or Emmaline Lake. And I'm vaguely remembering, did I make that joke in the last video?
Yep.
Oh my God. We're having to double back. We went maybe 1/10 of a mile in the wrong direction, and I just was not paying attention. But normally when you see stuff like this, that is indicating that that is not the way to go. This is the way we want to go. This thing is rough at the end. It is going out with a bang. I mean, look at this part. Let's knock out this final section. Check it out, guys. Cirque Lake. That's a real pretty one. And that's an even better view. And then from Cirque Lake, Emmaline Lake is going to be just over here to the north. Got to climb up these final few rocks right here. You guys ready for Emmaline Lake? Oh, not quite yet. It is really windy up here. Extremely windy. I don't think we're going to be sitting up here very long. And there's actually a trail over here to the right, and I'm just walking on the rocks. It is just now 10:56, so it took us about 3 hours and 40 minutes to get up here. That last mile is really slow moving. We're looking for a good spot out of the wind because it is whipping up here. It's really bad. It's like one of those where I'm holding onto my hat. Oh yeah, I think we're out of it right here. We're sitting here in our chill spot and we're out of the wind for the most part. We're getting it a little bit, but that's not nearly as bad as it was. And as looking up to Comanche Peak. Did you guys know that I have my own line of beef jerky? Check it out, they're called Nick's Sticks. And she's got the E cheese cracker for Emmaline Lake. Alright guys, it is 11:30, which means we've been sitting up here at Emmaline Lake for a little over a half hour. But the wind is whipping and we've got a long hike down. So it is time to go. It's time to head on back. Alright, let's do it. Cirque Lake is really pretty too. We're coming down this thing much faster than we went up it. But from 10,000 feet on up, it's pretty rough. We're still coming down that section right now. We're at maybe 10,300. So once we get down to 10,000, it should flatten out a lot and we should start moving a lot faster. We just took a quick 3-minute break and we're still hiking through the area with all the berries. I'm so glad the sun has come out for the second half of the hike. It's really beautiful through here. And I hope it stays sunny all the way until we get back to all those aspens. That is going to be incredible through there. I'd say we're maybe 4/10 of a mile away from Cirque Meadows. And then from Cirque Meadows on back to the trailhead should be real nice and easy. And we are leaving the Comanche Peak Wilderness. And we have made it back down to Cirque Meadows. And this took just over an hour and a half. From here on out, the rest of the hike should go quick. I'm thinking we can be done in another hour and a half or so. And of course, the sun has gone behind the clouds once again because we're getting relatively close to the aspen trees. I'm hoping by the time we get over to them, the sun pops back out for a second. Crossing back over Fall Creek. And that breeze feels really good. It was getting a tad bit warm out here. And we have re-entered the aspen section. This should be really pretty all the way back to the trailhead. The amount of aspens down there is insane. They're so bright. All right, and the sun has popped back out for a second. I think this is going to be short-lived, but we got it for the moment. I've actually got a shadow. I'm trying to hurry up and get down to the good aspen trees while the sun is still out, because there is this big, massive gray cloud that's coming, and it's going to block the sun here in a few minutes. It's getting dark again. We've got this massive black cloud rolling in. I'm hoping we can get back to the car before it gets over us, because I think it's dropping rain for sure. We have made it back to this old Moral Trail sign, and we've got about 1 more mile back to the trailhead. And look at Denny's Point over there. It's like completely covered in aspens. That is awesome. And down there by the CSU Pingree campus, looks like a miniature train set or something. We should be dropping in on the gated upper trailhead like any moment now, which means we'll only have about a half mile left. And I think we're gonna beat the rain. It barely started sprinkling on us again, and there is this giant black wall behind us that's moving in. However, I think we can get back to the car in time. My mom's making her way through this real pretty section of golden, kind of reddish aspens, and then right behind me is the gate. Back to the gate. That's what I'm talking about. We've only got another half mile back to the car. And that is rain right back there. I'm thinking that's maybe a half-mile away. We're getting sprinkled on right now. So it's a race against the clock to try and get back to the car. As good as it feels to reach the summit of a mountain, or when you make it up to a really tough lake, I mean, those are good feelings. But when you make it back to the car safe and sound, that is also a really good feeling. All right, guys, and we're back. It is just now 2:20, which means it took 2 hours and 50 minutes to come down from Emmaline Lake. It took us 3 hours and 40 minutes to get up there this morning, and then 2 hours and 50 minutes to come down. And look at the wall of rain back there. We barely beat it. Nice job. Boom. Got it.
Got it.
Emmaline Lake. But we hope you enjoyed the hike. And until the next one, y'all, peace.